And hello there folks, it's me RJB from RJB TV, returning with the tag team battle between Trisha and 458 against Gensay and Rabbit. We already have 3 games so far, and the score is in favor of Trisha and... Wait. Yeah, Trisha and 458. The score is in favor of Trish... Wait, no. Actually, I incorrectly put the score at the top. The score is in favor of Gensay and Rabbit. Let me just correct that real quick, because I absolutely messed up. Big time. I absolutely messed up big time in the title there. Like, I added this little cute score thing box at the top. It might be a little bit too big, might be a little bit too small, it might be a little bit too distracting, but I just felt that, you know what, let's just try it out for a game. Let's just try it out for a video if the thing on the top there is, you know, helpful. Whether it provides useful information or whether it does not. It's actually a little bit off-center though. Like, I think I should put it right against this little section here, like right against the supply and name thing there on the top corner. But let's just keep it like this. So, in the previous 3 games, Gensay beat 458 with a really beautiful Zerg Hydralisk attack. Somewhat of a cheese, I might add, and took down 458, but then Trisha took down Gensay with a really well executed Terran Protoss against Terran. I think it was Protoss against Terran. Actually, I forgot what race he played in the second game. My memory is gone. You know, it's pretty bad these days. Apparently, pretty bad these days. And then Rabbit rushed on Trisha with a counter-attack, and Trisha died again, number 3. So now we're back with 458 against lovely Rabbit. These two players have played a lot of games over the past couple of years, perhaps more than anyone else. There was a time in 2021 and 2022 where Rabbit pretty much only played 1v1 against 458 every single day. These two players know each other better than anyone else in the entire world. They know exactly what the other will do, and in turn, they know exactly what they will not do. So there's even some room for some trickery, because they can play into what they know the other will not do and do something they didn't expect. This is very interesting from Rabbit. He always does these very smart setups here. Very smart setups. He's building a wall around his command centers with his barracks and supply depots, and he's going to try to make it hard for 458 to get those zealots in behind that wall. This should be very interesting. One bunker coming in and another supply depot coming in, so that only Marines can walk through this section and Zealots cannot. This is very smart stuff. I've never seen this done before. This is the very first time I'm seeing this. Look, the Zealots have to walk all the way around. They cannot walk through these sections, but the Marines can. He's walling them off, preventing the Zealots from getting in deeper, but they get on top of the Marine. Oh, Marine, get in the bunker. Get in there quick. Come on, get in there quick, my friend. Run, run, run and get in the bunker. Well, actually, at this point, he no longer has to enter the bunker, just has to kill the Zealot, but more Zealots are on the way, they're on the right. So he might still have to get inside that bunker. So 458 here playing very smart, pulling those Marines away from the bunker as far as he possibly can to hopefully get a kill, but nope, they all get in the bunker. SCVs there though getting untangled, being pulled off the minerals a couple of times to clip into the Zealots and make attacking harder for 458, but Rabbit has done it. Command center first into double gateway opening, and he manages to defend himself, taking minimal amounts of losses because of this beautiful setup that he has right here. This is next level smart play, and pretty much only Rabbit does these kind of things. Only Rabbit does those kinds of things where he does those very tricky, very smart layouts in his base to try and keep the enemy from being successful in attacking it. And the cannon's coming up just in time for 458. He bought exactly those 2 seconds he needed to get that choke secured with those Zealots there on the middle. So both players truly do know each other very, very well. It's like these two players were made to play against each other. They're built to play against each other and entertain us while they beat each other up. So while the Zealots are dying, let's have a look here at 458's main base, where things are transpiring. Double Nexus, and a choke, a a slow robo, no Citadel of Adun, a third gateway, I have a feeling, and it's a feeling that I'm pretty sure about, that 458 is planning on going for drops into carriers. That's why he got that many nexuses and probes so early on. He's going to fill out the remaining gas as well, because he is right next to Rabbit, and Rabbit will for sure try to abuse this hill right here and put tanks on there and use the tanks to push towards those probes right there, like tanks at the high ground and tanks right next to it, and then slowly crawl closer to those probes and kill them. And pretty much the only thing that can counter it is early shuttle drops that hopefully kill a lot of SCVs and the Marines and a lot of other stuff. Like basically whatever he can kill, he will want to kill it and keep Rabbit small, preferably economically small. But if that doesn't work, he will have to build carriers. Carriers are pretty much the next best option in defending against the hill tanks pushing towards probes from the hill. Pretty much the only shot you've got to try and prevent that from happening. So both players know what's in the works. Both players know what's going to happen. Both players are preparing themselves for that future that is ahead of them. They've been in a situation so many times, they know exactly what the course of action has to be. Triple robot there from 458, getting a Stargate there on the top. He's not yet getting upgrades for his ground or air. He's getting Zealot speed and shuttle speed first. Whereas we have Rabbit going for triple starport very, very early into the game on triple gas, triple command center. Armory's on the way. We have Siege Tank there. Oh, drop there. He unloaded some of his Zealots inside that base to try and soften him up, kill some of the defenses, force Rabbit to focus on killing the Zealots and dealing with them, while he's kind of just sending them in with an attack move to scout the base and see what's up, and maybe kill some SCVs right here or there. So now it becomes the big frontal attack, while the Marines are in the back. This is very smart from 458. Use those Zealots from earlier to draw units away from the front, and then attack the front with the Reaver Shuttle, and Zealots in right behind it that are waiting for speed upgrade. Very, very smart stuff. Very smart stuff. Rabbit got caught, I wouldn't say off guard, but he definitely was played like a fiddle. Rabbit did exactly what 458 wanted him to do, but Wraiths are in the air, there to snipe the shuttle. Reavers are shooting, shuttle goes down. Reavers are killing a lot of Marines, pretty much all the Marines are dead and gone. But now we have some Zealots there. Tank goes down. Oh my god, that was a beautifully executed attack there by 458. Killed almost every single unit in the base. Now the Wraiths are the last line of defense against the shuttle terror that will be coming out very, very soon. He will be... Look at it, yeah. Look at this. He's already putting up cannons just outside of tank range if the tanks were to be on the high ground. I think he can put up cannons one more row right here, or maybe right here. Then he can hit the tanks unloading, but the tanks at the high ground cannot hit his tanks or his cannons from the high ground. So a little fight happening there. He just keeps on sending in some units to make sure that a choke is not happening. Shuttle drop there going over the right side, but there's Marines there that spot out the shuttle, so the Wraiths are going to fly right into that and try to kill it. Or so I was hoping, but Rabbit is focusing on other things right now. Perhaps it is not as important to kill the shuttle at the moment. He's taking out Vision on the side. Important job to go through. More Gavers are coming in there from 458. Maybe I was wrong about the carriers. Drop goes in over the top. Rabbit is distracted, not focusing on defending it. SCVs are running to safety in groups of 12. Scarab not exploding. Reaver relocating. Kills some SCVs. Wraiths coming in. Another shot for the Reaver. Unloads it just on time. Reaver shoots. Reaver cannot connect, but it kills some Marines and SCVs right there, right next to the command center. But Rabbit has 62 SCVs still alive. That did not hurt him too badly. That was an acceptable amount of damage to take. And Rabbit is gladly that it didn't go worse. He's glad that it didn't go worse than that. So now we have carriers. Alright, so we might be going for carriers after all. We have Stargates being built in large amounts because 458 did not do any significant damage with that shuttle Reaver drop. Now, if he had done more damage, I am pretty sure he would have gone all in on gateways, attacking the front and just keeping up the pressure. But considering he did not do significant amounts of damage with that Reaver drop just now, 458 realizes he has to go for carriers. Most likely. I'm not sure if that is his reasoning, but that is what I assume is his reasoning, because the Stargates only started right after the drop did not succeed to kill significant amounts of SCVs. So it's kind of like a flow chart. Did you do damage at this exact point in time? Yes or no? If the answer is no, you go carriers. If the answer is yes, you keep on going with this gateways and the zealots and the reaver drops and the frontal attacks. A very interesting flow chart that 458 is applying to this game, to this matchup, that I haven't seen a lot of other players apply in the same way. 458 is the Protoss expert for a reason. So interesting detail. Tanks on the high ground, they can shoot up to about this far, so they can't hit the cannons. It's gonna take a while for Rabbit to push closer to those probes that are peacefully mining minerals, although there's 95 of them. Drop comes in over the top side. That's a big drop, a really big one. Rays are coming in to try and snipe. Valkyries are not firing. Courses coming in as well. Unloading right on top there. Not a very successful unload, I'll admit. Did not hit anything of significance except killing some Marines, but now the Zealots are still running about in the back. We have Raids in the air ready to... They're going to the top to kill the Corsair to protect the engineering bay. Tanks are unloading on the bottom there. Carriers are almost finished, but they still have to build their interceptors. Zealots are being sacrificed as splash damage. There's not much in between the probes and the tanks, so another wave of tanks coming across that hill, and Rabbit is going to unload them within range of the probes. Now this is dangerous. Probes running to safety. How fast can he run? Kills 40 of them with the first couple of shots from those tanks. Cannons going down as well. Now luckily for 458 he still has 55 of them. He got triple nexus. He has Reavers waiting. Reavers are going to get taken down there by the Raids. All beautifully played. Beautifully played. Rabbit is playing this really, really smart. 458 might have just been a little bit too slow preparing the carriers to defend himself against that tank drop abuse that Rabbit is now using very effectively. Or maybe the triple command center opening from Rabbit simply allowed him to speed up the progression into tank drop abuse. Probes running away yet again. Probes dying again. Kills about 20, at about 60 again, now down to 40. And he's low on money as well. He cannot even properly build interceptors because he doesn't have enough money to build them. Now the Zealots will take down most of the tanks, but the Raids there are providing just enough support to make sure that 2 tanks do survive. 458 cannot pull his probes back to the minerals because he doesn't have proper protection. We have mass Valkyrie, mass Raid in the air to kill the carriers. Now the tanks will get taken down, but more of them are arriving on the scene. And 458 calls GG. He just got absolutely obliterated within a matter of minutes. That one drop failing, or well, to be more precise, those 2 drops failing. One of them did kill about 15 SCVs, but wasn't enough. And the drop right afterwards had to kill SCVs as well to stop this from happening. But Rabbit just had an easy time surviving those drops and then just hitting those probes really, really, really hard. And 458 had 95, now down to 40, so it lost about 55, maybe 65 in total over the course of that exchange. That gives us 3 wins for Team Gensay and Rabbit, and Team Trisha 458 has only a single one. But now Trisha is going to come into the arena, so to speak, and try to turn the tide. He's going to try to save the day, be the hero we all need, be the hero we all yearn for. Trisha is entering the ring. Let's see what he has in store for this tag team battle best of whatever set. I don't know how many games they're planning on playing, but we're just going to keep switching players in and out. Trisha here on the yellow Protoss, lovely Rabbit on the blue Zerg on the bottom left of the map. So, Trisha is a pretty good player. We've seen him play before in this best of tag team battle something. And he took down Gensay in his first appearance. We've seen him before on the channel in a couple of videos here and there. I don't know what happened in those videos because I've simply made too many videos to specifically remember what happened in the videos Trisha was in. I simply don't recall. I mean, I do recall one game against JH, who played under the name Voss. And that game was very close. Very close. So I do suggest you look for Trisha against Voss or JH. I'm not sure what the title is. I'm not going to look for it, but I do know those two people played at some point in time on the channel. And the game they played is one of the most fun, close, amazing games you'll probably see. And it's not too long, it's like 20 minutes long, maybe 18 minutes long. It's got everything you want all in one nice package. But now back to this game here. Trisha has a task ahead of him. He's got a mountain, a steep cliff to climb. His team is down 2 wins. The score 1 against 3. Rabbit here, a very strong Zerg player, starts off with Hatchery Pool. He's a very smart Zerg player. Not just a good one, he's a smart one. As we saw in the previous game, where he had a very interesting placement of structures to aid him in the defense against 458's early 2 Gateway Nexus aggression. Defending against a 2 Gateway Nexus is pretty difficult when you go for Command Center first as a Terran, but he managed to pull it off. Likewise, I expect Rabbit here to do similarly smart things, as he's gonna get his 4th hatchery, and he's gonna get scouted here by Trisha. Now Rabbit has not done any scouting of his own yet, but he did see the probe coming from the right with his Overlord, which of course means, or implies, you can assume or deduce that we can all conclude that Trish is probably on the bottom right of the map. And excuse me for using fancy words, it just sounds cool. I just do that because it sounds cool sometimes to throw in random assortments of big fancy linguistic. That doesn't make any sense. Big fancy words. Let's just keep it at big fancy words. Kind of like Trump. I know the biggest words, the best words. I have the best words. I say the biggest words. Let's just keep it simple. So Zerglings on the map, no Sunkens. He's trying to cheap out on his defenses by not building Sunkens and going straight for the hatchery and the choke and gambling on his Zerglings being enough to defend against the Zealots from Trisha. He's splitting up all over the map. He still doesn't quite know where Trisha is located because this is his first attempt at scouting the entire map. Now, Trisha went for 4 gateways after his Forge and Cannon Nexus up and running, probes producing, 23 of them in total, getting a Cyber Core on a single gas. Zealots are in the front, walling off the entrance. And Rabbit here going to put his Zerglings in between, hoping to get a window to run by and hit the probes in the back and kill the cannon or kill the probes. One of the two. So there's an opening on the top. Trisha did not really put a lot of effort into positioning his Zealots in such a manner that they actually wall off the front. But he doesn't really care because he should be fine and safe. He should be sound and safe as he is right now. 5 hatchery in the back, 1 in the front. Hatchery in the front not yet finished up. Rabbit built more Zerglings. He's got 12 drones. He's falling behind economically. It looks like he's pretty much going all in on drones to properly defend himself against the Zealots and then hope that after he gets a choke, he can build enough drones quick enough to kind of catch up on where Trisha is economically. So Zerglings in the back, Zerglings in the front, going for a surround, Zealots in between. Zealots are in a very good position. Very good position. The Zerglings cannot get a proper surround on all the Zealots, so it's kind of just a 2v1 per Zealot. But there's just so many Zerglings that he's gonna wind up winning the fight anyway, because a surround is still a surround. Even though the position Trisha was in with the Zealots was pretty good for the Zealots, it definitely was not good enough to overpower those superior numbers of Zerglings. So now we have Rabbit droning up really quick. He had 11 just 30 seconds ago. Now 23. He's droning up pretty quick and doing it so pretty effectively. He knows exactly what he can do and what he cannot do. And by winning that fight here in his choke against the Zealots, he knows that Trisha has kind of lost most of his fighting capacity. So he's just, gonna drone up a whole lot. You have an Evo Chamber coming into the front to kind of wall off that frontal section to make it hard for Zealots to walk through. Is that a Hydralisk Den? That's a Hydralisk Den in the front. One in the back as well. 27 drones at the moment. We have a support bay and robotics right here finished for Trisha. So we might be seeing a Reaver shuttle coming across the map very soon with speed. Level 1 attack, they're on the way for the Zealots as well. Only 3 summons in the front, but he's got 4 more drones ready to put down more of them. Whereas Trisha is, this time around putting more effort into building somewhat of a wall here in his choke pathway to make sure that Zerglings are not going to kill the probe here in the middle and prevent construction of a proxy robotics base. So first 4 cannons. He's playing it safe, not taking any risks. I often see players go for 1 cannon to protect this. He's going for 4. Might even get more. Who knows? Trisha does not like taking needless risks. He plays things very safe and by the book. And that is what makes him such a strong player, in my opinion. Unlike most of the others, he does not like taking risks. He plays it accordingly to the book. So we have a larger amount of sunken. The configuration is quite interesting. Never quite seen it done exactly like this, but it works. It's one of those very smart Rabbit things where he uses every single little placement of a structure to his advantage. Very effective wall. He can build eggs right here and seal off the front door. Very effective and smart way of playing Zerg. Shuttle comes in. It's fast. Faster than the Hydralisk, which are still researching speed. Drones have to run away to safety. Reaver gonna load very close. Reaver gonna shoot its load. 12 drones do go down, but there's 43 still alive. Oh, another shot there. Ready to go. Zealot's killing stuff there in the back. Reaver could not shoot. Was still reloading, but no, he's gonna try to go right back in there, but cannot quite find the hole to go into. Can't quite find the hole to go into to unload the load on that Reaver. Oh, Reaver crawling close. Reaver hits. Reaver kills everything that was pretty much there on the minerals. We have 9 left alive. He went down from 45. He had about 56. Then went down to 45. Then went down to 19. So that's a whole lot of dead drones. Trisha played that really well. He played it really well. Microing the shuttle around while still building all over the place. He's on 63 probes already against 35 drones. Rabbit has an even higher mountain to climb than before. Things were looking pretty good, but Hydralisk's speed finished just 10 seconds too slow. Just 10 seconds too slow. All floors are getting cleaned out. Panels being built to build cannons here on the side. Cannons that are going to take away Rabbit's vision. But we have Mulisks on the map there from Rabbit. He's sneaking across the map, hunting for the Courser and the probe, but only finds the probe. The Courser went to the middle. We have Dragoons entering to protect the Reavers. So it looks like Trisha really is doing everything exactly by the book, not taking risks. He's waiting. He's not pushing prematurely. He's protecting things properly. 4 cannons, 2 Coursers in the back. Mulisks will not be able to achieve too much. Dragoons are coming in to protect the Reavers against the Mulisks, which is exactly what he had to do. And I lost connection to the server. Oh boy. Oh boy. I lost connection to the server. Which means I'm going to have to close and open StarCraft later on, after the game is over, to go into game number 6. So the push on the front there commences. 77 probes, 5 Reavers. Mulisks trying to hit the Reavers, but there's Coursers in hold position in the front. This is not going too well. We have some Queens getting ensnared that are going to try to save the day, but it might not be enough to save the day. It's cute, though. It's cute. It's inventive. It's creative. Using queens with ensnare this early into the game to try and slow stuff down. Oh, one Reaver goes down there to a sunken. A typical Reaver thing. Sometimes they just do those stupid things where they crawl forward a little bit too much and then die. That's something Reavers do. One attack there on the Dragoons. Do we have upgrades there for Rabbit? No, not on the ground, not on the air, but level 1 Carapace almost finished up there for the Mutalisks. And the amount of Mutalisks is pretty big. It's grown. Oh, Storms hits his own Reaver. Dodges most of the Storm there, though, so this is pretty effective defending here from Rabbit. Trisha, though, 188 supply, 82 drone, probes, 45 drones, 43 drones, as he builds a couple of Sunkens. And he's got more Sunkens coming up, because he has to build a bigger buffer zone to buy himself more time. This is not going to be too easy for Rabbit. Losing a lot of economy to building more Sunkens. Hive is on the way in the back. Might go for a greater Spire to defend himself. Sniping more Reavers, but more Reavers are waiting in the back. The Templar Storm did not do enough, so Rabbit is displaying some good control here and really good decision making. He's making the best of a terrible situation. I mean, the situation was really terrible when he lost all of his drones earlier into the game, and his money, his economy, is still hurting. Now 58 drones though. It's going to take a little while to catch up on Trisha with those 58 drones. But it's better than where he was at 6 minutes ago with only 19 drones. So big attack there from Trisha, but that's a big arc of Sunkens around that entrance. Zealots did not do much. But the Reavers are doing most of the work, but once again, Reavers are exposed to Mutalisk and Sunken attacks. So Rabbit's still buying himself a lot of time. Trisha having trouble pushing forward. Did not go for another drop since the one from earlier. He's only done the Reaver shuttle drop so far, but he is once again mixing in shuttle drops because he's noticing that he did not get himself enough of an advantage with the drop from earlier to decisively end the game, and he flies right in there, not even being noticed by his senpai. Kills the drones again, and that should be GG. Rabbit just completely missed that shuttle flying through the entire base because he was focused on defending in the front, but he was getting attacked in the back. One in the front, one in the back. Very effective penetration strategy here from Trisha. And he has another Reaver there. Another Reaver. It shoots, it's loaded, and it explodes, and the drones go down. He's got another chance to shoot there, though. Reaver unloads yet again and fires another shot, but kills only one. Picks it up yet again. It's still alive. It's still alive. Reaver shoots again, and the drones go down. Oh my god, this is a disaster for Rabbit. He got tricked, bamboozled, done dirty. Another Reaver in the shuttle, and he thought it was empty. He thought it was empty. Now means we get a GG, and Trisha wins the game pretty decisively. Pretty decisively. Very standard play from Trisha. But sometimes sticking to the manual is exactly what you gotta do to get yourself back in a best of set in which you are behind. Don't take risks, just play it smart. Play it by the rules. Now I'm gonna have to reconnect with Battle.net, so just give me a second. Because Battle.net likes to throw me out. No clue why, it just likes doing it. I'm also going to have to look for the replay again somewhere in the folders, which might take another 15 seconds extra. So do excuse me for the little intermission, which is being a little bit longer than intended. So far I've been enjoying this tag team battle quite a bit. All the players look really strong. Everyone has won a game so far, except for 5-8. He's just lost 2 games. I was expecting him to do better, but the cards just were not in his favor this time around. Cards just were not in his favor this time around. So let me just see where I've got that game hiding. Found it. Let's go for game number 6. Yeah, I got game number 6 on my hands. Game number 6, starting up. Let's jump right into the battle. Game number 6, score 2 wins for Trisha and 458. 3 wins for Gensay and Rabbit. And Gensay and Rabbit for sure will want to be extending the lead they currently have. They do not want to give that away. Not yet. Not ever, preferably. But who knows, maybe Trisha is going to just display really strong gameplay like in the previous game and blow everyone out of the water. Yellow Protoss, Trisha. Blue Zerg, Gensay. 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, spawn locations. So what is Gensay gonna do? Gensay is kind of the opposite of Rabbit. He plays very smart as well, but where Rabbit plays very smart defensively, Gensay plays very smart offensively. So 2 sides of, I say, a different coin. Hope that makes sense. Both trying to play very smart, but the results are completely different. Or let's say the methods are completely different. But definitely smarter than most people are playing. I mean, Rabbit has got the smartest building placement in all of StarCraft. That goes without saying. He's got the smartest building placement in all of StarCraft. He does all kinds of things to get small little advantages on every single little detail he can to make up for his other weaknesses, which apparently are his micro and his multitasking and his playing speed. So he makes up for all that with very smart play. Very smart play. Whereas Gensay is great in everything, but he just takes too much risk. That's the only thing I can say about him. He takes a lot of risks, but it's all very smart. It's all premeditated. It's all in the sense of, if I can make this work, I instantly win the game. But if it doesn't, I'm in a pretty bad situation. That's kind of what personifies Gensay. We went for hatchery, pool, hatchery, gas. Not the hatchery, pool gas, like how Rabbit did in the previous game. So we will have Zerglings coming out a little bit faster than previously, which also means that Gensay might just start attacking very early on, instead of trying to get himself a choke in his front door, like our Rabbit did it. So somewhat similar openings, but for sure we'll be seeing different paths that they're taking. We have Trisha once again going for the standard build order, Nexus Triple Gateway. I assume he's going to do the exact same thing as last time, played exactly by the book. Follow the manual, follow the instructions, follow the flowchart. That is what Trisha's going to do. Whereas Gensay, getting his fourth hatchery, has 100 gas mined, so starts his Zergling speed. And now he's going to build a lot of Zerglings. Now he's going to build a lot of Zerglings. He's already hiding a couple of them right here on the side. But Trisha is not going to get fooled by any of these attempts at trickery and attempts at confusion and delusion, because he's putting his zealots on top of his cannon, which is the single safest position for the zealots to be, but also the safest for the cannon to be. So after all, we are gonna get a hatchery and a choke, so it looks like they are going similar paths. I thought he was gonna go for much more aggression compared to Rabbit, but he is doing the exact same thing. Same amount of drones, 13, and 2 will go to the front, then it will be 11. He's built 2 Sunkens with those 2 drones. Looks like the exact same thing, only difference being a little swap around with the pool and hatchery timings. But aside from that, it's all the exact same. So putting the drones back on the gas, or Zerglings coming out onto the map, trying to find a surround on Zealots, but the Zealots are still all here back at home. Trisha has seen this situation so many times, he's not gonna fall for the rookie mistake of moving out with those Zealots and leaving the back exposed. Exposed they will not be. Zerglings there though. Gensay for sure will try to brute force his way in though. If anyone will try to brute force it, it will be Gensay. But he's using the vision from the Overlord here to guide his choices. He can see the Zealots hiding behind the gateways. You can see Trisha sitting and waiting. So he's using that to only build a single sunken. He's really going cheap on that choke, trying to gain as much of an advantage by playing it as cheap as possible. Zealots are sweeping both the left and the right. Zerglings running back and forth, waiting for Burrow to finish up. He's posturing, trying to buy time. He's trying to buy time for his choke because his choke is kind of weak. He really lowballed his choke and now he might pay the price for it because we have a lot of Zealots coming across the map. And they're going to try to break through. Gensay sets up a surround, trying to wall off this section and go in from the back to make sure the Zealots have nowhere to escape to. Setup successful, although the Zealots in the back there are killing the Zerglings really easily. This time around, it's not going as well as it did for Rabbit. But he did do enough damage. It appears he did do enough damage, but he was also forced to make another wave of 12 to 20 Zerglings to beefen up the choke. We have a Spire on the way in the back, and then Hydralisk Den as well. 5 Hatchery in the back, 1 in the front, 2 Sunkens, but more will be built very soon. Zerglings are hunting, looking for the probe, but they can't quite find it. Shuttle in the base, unloading Zealots, but he sees it with an Overlord. The Zealots are just going in to scout, and he finds the Hydralisk Den, and he finds the Spire. He knows exactly what to do next. He knows exactly what to do next. Nothing that is happening is surprising him. So the Reaver is getting picked up, gonna fly across the map. Zealots on the middle are still fighting against the Zerglings. This probe got taken down, so no proxy robo-base on the middle this time around. Trisha will have to play this from his main base. Shuttle flying across very slowly through the vision of these Overlords, arriving on the scene where there's nothing to protect and nothing is running away. Oh god, no. He actually flew right in between the vision by pure chance. Now Zealots are walking in as well. 15 drones still alive. More drones are dying. Almost no minerals left in the bank. Zealots walking through, they're going to kill whatever they can. Minchel is forced to focus on 2 attacks at the same time. The Reaver on the top, with his shuttle carrying it, microing, running, and Zealots joining from the bottom to build a stronger position. The more Zealots come from across the map, you're just going to walk through the front door. Gensay played it very riskily. Reaver arrived too early for him to deal with. Mutants in the air, they're going to clean out the base, but they don't have that much damage. The Zealots will kill their fair share of drones and Hydralisks in the meantime. We have a lot of cannons here in the back. A lot of them. Plenty of them. The counterattack is not an option, and I think Gensay knows, but he's still going to check just to be sure that Trisha is not keeping out on cannons. Finds a probe there though. 4K was on the way. Gonna try it from the right side. Finds a couple of probes on the gas he can kill. So he is finding something to kill at least. It's not much, but it is something. And it being something is ultimately more important than it being nothing. Proxy robo base being built on the middle yet again, starting with the cannons. Mutalisk's not flying to the middle. It looks like he doesn't know it is happening. He could cancel this. He could stop this and prevent this. He just doesn't seem to be aware it is happening. Stargazer on the way for Trisha. Drop flying out yet again. Oh, that's the first drop, and here's another drop. He's trying to be tricky, doing 2 drops at the same time, but this is the real one. Flying all the way in, cannot quite intercept it. Reavers in between on the scene. Drones running away. Hits a couple of them, but not a lot of them. Shuttle is taken down. Scarab is chasing, gets kills after being out of the Scarab for like 10 seconds. But he does clean out the Protoss invasion for now, but it did hurt him a lot. Was not very successful in defending so far. He's been taking damage every single time, and now he's going to lose some Mutalisks to the cannons warping on the middle, but he has to do this. He has to prevent this investment from being useful to Trisha. Force him to lose the cannons, force him to lose all the minerals he spent on building on the middle, but Dragoons are entering the middle. There's only 5 of them though, and we have about 13 Mutalisks in the air. They are a little bit stronger than the Dragoons, but the Mutalisks are taking damage. That's ultimately what matters most. Corsairs joining in as well. Ooh, the Mutalisks, their time is over. The time for Mutalisks is in the past. They kind of, got countered by the Corsairs. That's kind of how it works. But we have Scourges in the air that are trying to kill the Corsairs. That might just change the balance of the game if they manage to connect. But I don't think they will because they run to safety really easily. We have about 10 Reavers waiting to get picked up by shuttles. You're going to go for the Reaver Corsair strategy. I don't see a fleet beacon yet, so no disruption webs in the making. But just Corsair Reaver against Mutalisk strategies is highly successful. There's not much that Gensay can do with the money that he has in his hands to prepare himself for what is coming next. He's in a bad situation. I've said it before, but Gensay is in a pretty bad situation. Shuttles are spawning. Reavers are getting picked up. He's going to fly in very soon. The Corsairs are trying to kill the Mutalisks before the Reavers arrive. Scourges coming in there though, and all the Scourges are being used to kill the Corsairs. There's even more of them. So that was a pretty successful hit by Gensay. But as long as Trisha can unload the Reavers before Scourges hit them, he wins the game. And it looks like he might be able to do it, because the Corsairs are distracting from the shuttles with the Reavers, and the Reavers are going to unload there right on the side. And there's only a couple of Hydralisks in between, and all the Mutalisks are dead and gone. Hydralisks surrounding the Reavers, but there's 6 Reavers, 7, 8 Reavers, and the Hydralisks are no more. There were like 20. Now there's only but none of them still, well, one Hydralisk still alive. Reavers crawling closer. This is their march to victory. Drones running to safety, but they kind of, have nowhere left to run. Mulas, they're in the air, going to try to save the day. They might just do it. They will do it. Drones turning and running away again. More Mutas spawning. Forces coming in. Drop in the front. Flying over the top side. And that's GG. Because he still had a Reaver in there, and the Reaver managed to unload and connect with some drones. Can't quite see how many, but he unloaded right there at the end. Let's just really check that out really quick. I did not see the shuttle earlier. Not sure why I did not see it, but let's just play it out real quick. What happens? This one. This one is the perpetrator. This one is the killer of those poor drones. Flies over the bottom side. And the Corsairs go in first to distract, while the other Reavers are still distracting in the base. They're still forcing the Mutas to focus on this group. While this one is waiting there on the side, waiting for its time to strike. Corsairs distracting. And then the shuttle comes right in. Drones returning. And here we have the moment of the crime. Drones exploding, gets a lot of them. So 2 Reavers in total. Number 1. Number 2. These 2 committed the crime of slaying Gensay and handing Team Trisha and 4 of 8 their 3rd win, evening up the score so far. That was it for today. Hope you enjoyed this tag team battle so far. We're going to have a whole lot more games coming up tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and the day after that day. Actually, I don't know how many games there are remaining or how long they are, so we might be in this for a little while longer, or this might just end tomorrow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this so far, and I hope to see you return in the next video. See you soon.